So you do your time with the Jam, and then you get a contract with the Clippers.
Yeah.
How did it feel to finally get on a team? Because this was how many years later after you graduated?
It a little bit over a year.
Okay.
So it wasn't that long.
Okay, it wasn't that long.
Yeah. It was a blessing to have the opportunity, but I still felt like I hadn't made it. Everything, man, my first probably 5-6 years was an audition, really. I started with 10-day contracts, and I got 2 of those, and they signed me for the year, and then everything else was a year after that, so it was really just an audition. So I never really got a chance to say, I made it. It was just it was time to go.
Well, right, because you got signed to the Clippers.
Yeah.
And then you get signed to the Kings.
Yeah, so that was a situation where I was supposed to sign a 2-year deal back with the Clippers, but this is when Sacramento and the Lakers were battling. This is during, early 2000s, and Chris Webber was a good friend and almost a mentor of mine. So every summer I'd go back home to Sacramento and work out with these guys, and I would be playing with them, and they offered me a contract, So I ended up going to Sacramento, my hometown, to play, and then being a part of the big Chris Webber trade to Philly. And after that, it was kind of like a merry-go-round of where I went, because I really didn't get a chance to play.
Right, because then you get traded to the 76ers.
Sixers.
Halfway through the 2004-2005 season.
Yeah.
But you never actually suited up.
Not that year. The following year.
You got injured.
Yeah, the following year I went back, and I can't even tell you how many games I played. I could probably count on one hand the games I got in. Just never really got a chance. Went to the Knicks for a brief time, then back to Philly, and really just had a tough go in Philly. My first coach was Jim O'Brien, like I said, who didn't really give me a chance. The next year I came back, and it was Mo Cheeks, and Mo Cheeks was first-time head coach. To me, too immature. He was still caught in between being a player and wearing the suit and being a coach. So we just didn't get along, and luckily I got out of that and then landed in Golden State randomly.
Right. And that was the first time you really found a home.
Right.
How did it feel? This is like 2006 when you
Yeah.
finally made it to Golden State after hopping around for how many years?
3 years.
3 years.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess before you joined Golden State, you were going to go back to the NFL.
Yeah, I was going to play. It came to a point where I was just like, man, I keep bouncing around. I'm not really getting a chance to play. I know I could play football. So we had lined up some NFL teams. I don't remember all of them off the top, but I remember speaking with my agent, there was about 5 to 6 teams that were willing to give me an open tryout. And my brother was playing college football at the time, and we were just back and forth. So I would do basketball and football workouts in the summertime, thinking, all right, well, this is going to be my last chance that I'm going to give myself. This is my last summer just going basketball. If it doesn't work right here, I'm going to go football. And luckily, that's the time I signed with Golden State.
How did that feel to finally sign with the Warriors?
That was good because it was random too. You know what I mean? It was a former teammate of mine, Baron Davis, had hit me up. He was in the Bay already. I was in Sacramento just working out during the summertime. And he's like, hey, we're having pickup games at the facility today if you want to come down and play. And so I drove down an hour and a half and played well, not knowing that Don Nelson was upstairs in his office and he saw us play. And he came down to me after we had played pickup and asked me, told me I played well and where was I signed at this year. And I just like, nobody. And he's just like, we have 16 guarantees already. And I want to say they only keep 14, so they had 16 people guaranteed under contract, plus 2 or 3 guys that are bringing to training camp. He's like, I can't promise you anything, but if you play as hard as you play today, you'll have a chance to make the team. And, that's all I need. That was the first time I really felt that like a coach had confidence in me and saw what I can do and gave me a shot. And, I ran with it.
Well, I guess before you came to Golden State, you had only made 10 3-pointers in your whole career. Mm-hmm. And then in the 2006-2007 season, you made 106
Yeah.
3-pointers.
I think it was the largest jump in NBA history.
I know.
Something crazy like that.
From 10 total in like, what, 4 years?
Right.
To 106 in one season.
It was just really an opportunity. I think there's several people in my position, that can play, but just, we were lost in the shuffle, being late round picks or not being drafted. There's a lot of politics in the NBA, and if you're a first-round pick, they're going to give you every opportunity to play, and, if you're making more money than someone, they're going to give that person an opportunity to play. So I was never making a ton of money, and I was a second-round pick. You know what I mean? So I really had to fight my way to even get on the court, and I think that's when a lot of guys get lost in the shuffle because they never even get a chance to get on the court.
I mean, were you basically Steph Curry over there before Steph Curry?
No, I mean, I had held the record for threes in a game, I think, before Steph came along. I think it was 7 until, the Splash Brothers came along and
it was over.
demolished it. But it was really, like you said, the first time I felt like I had a team, and it wasn't far from home, and the city really took to me. The Bay really, fucked with me, and it was a special time, and we had a really special team that year.